Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. My name is Dhianisa Firdausi and my student number is 832017000 and 75. And here I want to deliver my presentation about lesson planning. So, to be a good teacher, the teacher should have a lesson planning when they come into the classroom. The lesson planning can be just a mental checklist or it can be a detailed lesson that follows a prescribed format. And the planning the lesson is much more difficult than delivering the lesson. So, lesson planning can be defined as a teacher detailed description of the course of instruction for an individual lesson. Lesson plan can be considered as a way of communicating instruction, and obviously effective communication skills are fundamental to all instruction. Then, lesson planning have a benefit that is help new or inexperienced teachers organize content, materials, and method. This is the elements of a lesson plan. The first one is instructional goals. Systematic planning of instruction must begin with the setting of goals, that is, the starting point from which teaching or learning activities are derived. Then the second element of lesson plan is objective. The first one is notion. Objectives are vital for teaching and learning. They are the means of communicating to students, parents, and administration what teachers are attempting to achieve in their classroom. The written of objective have four component of part. The first is audience, the second is behavior, the third is condition, the fourth is degree. And the level of achievement indicating acceptable performance of mastery of the objective might include the following. The first is to a degree of accuracy 90%. To started proportion is 3 out of 5 or a minimum of 3. Speed within a given period of time within 3 minutes according to the information given in the text, lab manual, lectures, note. And then the second from the objective is classification of objective. Objectives don't only concern the knowledge of certain fact and information, but also involve learning outcomes in the additional or physical area. One of the most widely used ways of organizing level of expertise is according to Bloom's taxonomy of educational objective. Bloom's taxonomy uses a multi-tiered scale to express the level of expertise required to achieve each measurable student outcome. Bloom's taxonomy of educational object consists by knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. And then there is a psychomotor domain from the Bloom's taxonomy that is perception, set, guide, response, mechanism, complex or overt response, adaptation, and organization. Then the affective domain is receiving, responding, valuing, organizing, and characterization by a value or value complex. Then the third element of lesson plan is instructional materials. Materials provide the content of the lesson that balance of skill taught and the language practice of the student. The roles of materials in language teaching as the first is a source of presentation material, and then the research of activities for learner practice and communicative interaction, and the third is a reference source for learner or grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, and so on. The fourth is a research of stimulation and ideas from classroom activity, and then a syllabus, and the last is support for less experienced teachers who have yet to gain in confidence. The fourth is instructional media. Instructional media encompasses all the materials and physical means an instructor may use to implement instruction and facilitate student achievement of instructional objective. It lacks a window shouldn't call attention to itself and should just let in the light. Media can facilitate learning or increase understanding the materials. The implicit goals that media can help achieve are attracting attention, developing interest, adjusting learning climate, promoting acceptance. And then the fifth element of lesson plan is procedure. This section provides a detailed, step-by-step description of how to replicate the lesson and achieve lesson plan objective. It basically divided into several components. There is an introduction. It contains some aspects such as how the ideas and objective on this lesson will be introduced. And then the second is a main activity. It contains the focus of the lesson. And the third is closer. It contains several aspects such as feedback to students to reinforce their learning. The sixth is evaluation. Teachers need to gather some evidence, replicate some of the activities practiced as part of the lesson, and question students on various concepts and problems as well. And the seventh is extra class work. Sometimes it is can call with homework. Extra class work, if warranted, needs to plan carefully and communicate it clearly to the student and will help student to do some learning beyond to the class hour. And the conclusion is lesson planning is needed for every teacher, whether a new teacher or a teacher who has many experience. It is to make a structural lesson in every meeting at the class. One of primary roles of to perform as a teacher is to design and implement of instruction. Teachers at every level prepare plans that aid in the organization and deliver of their daily lesson. A lesson plan in general contains elements such as goals, objective, material, and equipment, procedure, evaluation, and extra work class. I think that's all from me. Thank you and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.